What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Duck, and we're about to do a few videos from Conservative Twins. First video is titled Majorie Taylor Greene goes off and embarrasses woke reporter who tried to ambush her. I hope I said her name right. Yeah. Let's see how she handles the ambushes. We've seen how if you watch stuff, we've seen how liberals handle liberal and progressive. We've seen how they handle it. See how she I don't know what she is, but get it.
Come to the Capitol or do any tours or any meetings here?
Is this all you really talking about is the J6ers that have been pardoned?
Yeah.
Okay, are you going to talk about the Biden family that got pardoned? No?
I haven't.
Oh, okay. What about the rapers and killers and murderers that Joe Biden pardoned? There's tons of them. Is that a focus at all?
Well, I'm asking about J6.
I know that's what you're asking. I know that's what you're asking about, and I'm not doing this. This insane place up here and all of y'all's obsession with January 6th is absurd. Everybody outside of here is sick and tired of it. I'm serious. And so Joe Biden pardons all these murderers and rapists and disgusting people, and then everybody up here has got their panties in a wad because J6ers got pardoned. Like people that walk through open doors. A lot of them walk through open doors. That's cool. It.
Police.
But everybody here is like, oh, J6. Seriously.
But you've been so outspoken on this issue.
Yes, I have. And they're pardoned. And thank God, I hope they go live their lives and can reassemble something back together because they have suffered enough. Go do a story on all the Antifa BLM people that never served time. Over 95% of them, seriously. Think about that. And go do a story on these cities that BLM burned to the ground and they never built back. They raised all that money on ActBlue and they never built those communities back.
Yo, she going in.
Because you've been so outspoken.
It is nauseating. I've seen all the Democrat-run networks ad nauseum about January 6th, and they just can't get over themselves, but they don't give a shit about real Americans.
The speaker has created a select committee to investigate January 6th, so it's not like Republicans aren't talking about this.
No, but it was your question. Are you going to have J6ers come in? Are you going to give them tours? Like, I'm so sick of you people and all this crap. I really am.
The reason why I asked that is because other people have said that, and so I assumed you would be one of the people that would also be having tours, just because I know you're close to some of the people.
Because you're assuming. You know, the problem is you people never gave me a fair shot to begin with, and you all these assumptions and all these headlines and all these lies. So you came in asking me, why don't you do a story on what people care about? People care about the border, the economy, energy. They're sick and tired of the foreign wars. They're tired of the hypocrisy up here, and they hate the media right now. They do. I'm serious.
It makes it like the report makes it like if you're a felon, you can't go to the Capitol. Right. You can't go on a tour there. Right. But they're no longer. Well, they still. I'm not sure how the pardon goes, but I think they pardon them in time served. I don't think. But like everyday Americans who, let's just say, rob somebody or burglarize or committed a felony. Right. They could still go to the Capitol after they serve their time. Right. They're not banned from the Capitol. Right. That's a great point. Yeah, I know it's a great point. That's why I brought it up.
You guys have created a situation where you're not trusted and people are sick of you. And it's sad. I'm serious, it's sad. Well, so no, I'm not answering this question because I'm not going down this stupid thing of Martin Taylor Greene.
Well, I don't think it's stupid to ask that question. I mean, just you've been so outspoken on this issue, I thought you might want to talk about it. But that's why I asked, so I'm glad I did. Thanks, guys.
She got her some boots going. Marjorie got her some boot action going. Yeah, she do. Yeah, man, it's just, I mean, everything she said, I agree with 100% what she said. Didn't the guy get like 20 years and he wasn't even there?
Yeah,
I forget his name. Enrique. Yeah, got him for sedation. Damn, man, I'm having a bad moment. No, here's the leader of the Proud Boys, right? Yeah. He wasn't even there. They got him 20 years for sedation. I mean, I don't mean to laugh. That is so stupid. That is crazy. He wasn't even there. They gave him 20 years. Said it was some conspiracy that they was going to take over the government. No one ever saw that manifesto that they was going to take over the government, who they was going to replace. Nobody even had a weapon. Yeah, Enrico Tario. Well, you learn you some Spanish, huh? Yeah, I'm trying to learn a little bit. Oh my God, 22. Yeah, Proud Boys leader sentenced to 22 years in prison for seditious conspiracy and other charges related to U.S. Capitol breach. So they're saying he actually planned to take over the government? That's what he said. Really? Well, did he have a weapon? Oh, yeah, that's right. He wasn't there. Former national chairman of Proud Boys was sentenced today for sedation. Well, this is when it happened. Seditious conspiracy. Another charge related to the breach of the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. His actions and the actions of others disrupted a joint session of the U.S. Congress that was in the process. Hey, what are you doing? Process of ascertaining and counting the electoral votes related to the 2020 presidential election. Henry Rico Torrio, 39, of Miami, Florida, was sentenced to 22 years in prison and 36 months of supervised release. On January 6, 2021, the United States Capitol was attacked. 148 law. So, okay, that's enough. So he got 22 years. Now, if he does his 22 years, he's got another 36 months of supervised release. That's a bit much, don't you think? That's what you call kicking a man while the man is down. No, that's what you call throwing the book at him.
They threw
a lot of this stuff that they portrayed on the media until Tucker Carlson got his hands on that footage. Yep. Man, the liberal media spent the hell out of that story. They gaslighted everybody. Well, they even got the dude that had the I forget the shaman. The shaman. They gave him 15 years. I was 15 years. I think it was 15 years. It was like 5 or 6 years. No, they gave him 15 years. Yeah. They escorted him. The police escorted him. Right, I know. Yeah. And he said a prayer in chambers, and he got 15 years for that. Yeah. Again, I don't mean to laugh. That was just, yeah. Look, today's sentence demonstrates that those who attempt to undermine the workers of American democracy will be held criminally accountable, said FBI director. That's why everybody lost so much faith in the FBI and our judicial system. Y'all got Trump 34 felonies. Y'all said he was a sexual abuser. Everybody saw this coming when he became elected as president. That's why he won the popular vote. That's why he won the popular vote. Everybody that was persecuted, pardoned. The American public did not fall for it. Yep.
Damn, they just be ending them, bro. Yo, they just ended it. It was like, all right, end. No outro. Bro is about to be talking. End it. It's gone. It's gone. Okay. Wow. Alright, I think Marjorie Taylor, I think we've seen her talking on the podium at one point. That's why I was thinking. I was like, I think that's who that woman is, bro. I don't keep up with politics, but damn, she had the comebacks, didn't she? He was coming back on that woman. Well, they would never let that go. They would never let Gen 6 go, bro. That's funny. Alright, well, next video is titled Selena Gomez deletes post of her crying over ICE arrests and mass deportations. Bruh. Why would she delete it? Why she made the video and then she gonna delete it? Bro. It's not as smart as she look, I see. Shouldn't even made the damn post, bro. If you gonna make it, you gotta commit. You gotta full commit to it. You just gonna have to leave it up there. Let's watch.
I just want to say that I'm so sorry. So many people are getting attacked. The children. I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
Man, where's those tears when all these horrible crimes committed by illegals in this country against women. I know. Where was these tears when, how many, I think they said they just found 75,000 missing children in the country that came over the border illegally. They just found 75,000 of them. Yeah. That's crazy, man. I thought nobody was above the law. What happened to that? No one's above the law. First of all, y'all held Trump accountable. 34 felons? No one's above law. I don't think he's a felon. I mean, nobody actually believes that. But when y'all actually hold people accountable, you start crying. Why? Because it only fits your agenda. Yeah. That agenda is against America. Yeah. Hey, I didn't even know that was Selena Gomez. It don't even look like her, huh? Yeah, look at all the lip fillers and Botox and just plastic surgery. I mean, she's crying. We all look different when we're crying, but I didn't even think that was her. I thought that was I thought it was some other Mexican woman. I had no idea that was Selena Gomez. Look at these comments. Everybody's laughing. Where were you when the 300 children were missing, when they needed your voice? Right. They broke the law, period. These are the consequences. Is she crying because Biden and Harris lost 350,000 children at the border? Yeah, they lost a lot of kids. Yeah. It was child trafficking, essentially. That's what it was. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Selena, please stop. Illegal is illegal. Spend some of your money on them. Stop crying. F Hollywood. Yeah. You go with them. Her company supports the IDF genociding over 50,000 Palestinians, and she didn't shed one tear. Right. Go with them. There are the signs at the border, and you didn't mind when they pushed out agents around and hurt our people. Gets no sympathy from me. Maybe you should go with them. No Academy Award for this. Yeah, it's just... her being a Latina, she has allegiance to... not American citizen, allegiance to illegal immigrants. Well, I wish I could say her allegiance was to American citizens and legal immigrants. That would make much more sense. But her allegiance to illegal immigrants, people that's in the country illegally, and she's crying over that. Well, 54% of Latino men voted for this. Right. They're immigrants. They don't want to see people come here illegally and jump the line when they did it the right way. Right. And here you are crying. You think she regret this? Because she's like an absolute idiot. Well, she took the video down. He looks like a clown. She took the video down? Yeah, she deleted it. Why you take the video down? Everybody already has it.
Exactly.
These liberal women, man, are the dumb of the dumb. I'm just speechless when I look at stupid stuff like this. I can't even believe that's her. How do you even function in society when you have a worldview like this? And then you, instead of debating why we shouldn't be doing this, you sit here and you cry and you apologize for what? What could she possibly say why they shouldn't be doing this? You know who you can blame, Selena? Joe Biden. A lot of people is living in this country illegally in peace, working, paying taxes. Joe Biden let all these people come in. Yep. Now these people are collateral damage, and you can only blame Joe Biden. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's Joe Biden's fault. Because they're under the radar. Yeah, it's a lot of people in here. And, you know, unfortunately, I mean, a lot of people might disagree with me, but some of these people are good people. Yeah, some of them, there's good people in everybody. Yeah. Well, why are you using that as argument? What are you, progressive Kevin today? I'm just saying some good people going to get deported. But you can't argue for them because they're in the country illegal. My wife came here. She was undocumented at one point, but I fixed her papers. You can't come to the country. She came in a visa and she let it lapse and something like that. She lost the papers. She was undocumented at the time. And she had to go back to Mexico for almost 60 days. But but she went to high school here. Yeah, graduated high school and everything. Yeah. But she was undocumented one time, but I fixed her papers. Yeah, this looks ridiculous. Now she's a United States citizen. Yeah. Yeah. There's routes for these people to take to become a citizen. They don't want to do it because I'm Mexican. No, well, this is the thing. When you try to fix your papers, you got to sacrifice two things, money and you got to go back. Right. For like 6 months. Right. People not willing to sacrifice those two things. That's how bad that country is. Yeah, I get that. I'd rather live here in constant fear of being deported than rather go back to that country and spend all that money. Well, now Trump here. Now what you going to do? You better go back and you better spend that money.
You got no fucking
Yeah,
choice
but this
now.
lady, idiot. Ain't nobody listening to Hollywood no more. You people are like fake. Yeah. Like this fake outrage. Yep. I could see you, I can understand you crying like this when an illegal immigrant came into the country and did all these horrible things to women. And then if that was not bad enough, they do these horrible things sexual to them. Then they also unalive them. Yeah. Where was these tears then? I ain't trying to see this mess.
Man, this is why. That's why Hollywood, you know, man, it ain't really worth it, bro. Motherfuckers are not worth time and day of trusting. Anyways, she tried to renege, but didn't work. She really thought that was gonna fix things. It didn't fix anything, woman. I accidentally played the video. Alright. Next video is, let me see. Sorry. Next video is titled DEI Chicago Mayor pulls the race card, then says the dumbest things ever on TV. Yep. Here we go. Chicago, where it's like Murder City down there. Watch.
Yes, I was just trying to clarify something. Yesterday, your corporation counsel was stepping in to address the issue about whether you'd go to Washington. When I reached out to the committee, I was told that the chairman of this committee, who wants you to testify about the sanctuary city, expects you to be there, and if not, they will use whatever means they have available, including subpoena power, to require you, to compel you to be there. Will you go voluntarily, or will they have to be forced to compel you?
You stupid idiot.
I wish the next time you talk to the committee chair, ask him if he would be interested in doing a hearing on how reparations can transform people's lives.
Sorry, what did he say? I was a bit distracted.
Sanctuary City expects you to be there, and if not, they will use whatever means they have available, including subpoena power, to require you, to compel you to be there. Will you go voluntarily, or will they have to be forced to compel you?
You stupid idiot.
I wish the next time you talk to the committee chair, ask him if he would be interested in doing a hearing on how reparations can transform people's lives.
It gotta be fucking Tom, dude. It gotta be reparations every fucking argument.
Man, you could give every black person $2 million. $2 million to every black person. They're gonna be broke within 6 months. You know why? Why? Because you don't change what's in here. Yeah. You just change what's on the exterior. You're not changing what's on the interior.
If you give every black person $2 million, every price in America is going up. What are you talking about, bro? Yo. And we all gonna be broke.
There's a reason why, like, a lot of people that win the lottery, they all go broke. They're broke within 2 years. Yeah, majority of all professional athletes, multi-millionaires, they all go broke. Yeah, because they can't sustain it. They don't know how to sustain it. Yeah.
Just ask them, but here's what I'm getting at. This oversight committee, of all the things that they want to have sight over, they should look at the White House right now. That White House is being ran in one of the most raggedy forms of government that I've ever seen. If anybody is questioning whether or not what our country would look like had the Confederacy won, there should be no question now.
I mean, where do I begin? You know what? It's just a distraction away from the question he was being asked. Yeah. He was able to avoid that question, but it's simply using the same dumb black talking points. Yeah, he doesn't. And a majority of black people is like, yeah, you tell them. Yeah. That's right. Like, that guy's a moron. Like, Congress is not gonna pass reparations.
Never happening.
You'll bankrupt America.
Fucking stupid.
Inflation would be through the roof. I mean, as a country, we're broke. Yeah. No state can pass reparation. All the states are broke. Yeah. That's not a genuine question he's putting out there. This is not genuine. He's being very disingenuous right now. Yeah, he's just diverting attention from the question. Right, right.
They want us to be afraid. Do not be afraid, Chicago.
He's afraid. You're definitely afraid. Well, he's probably not afraid. Oh, he's definitely afraid. He's got attorneys that bet those illegal immigrants in your city are afraid. Oh, Keith, he's definitely afraid. He won't go to for a hearing in front of Congress. Why? He's scared. Well, of course. Yeah. He's scared he's going to put his foot in his mouth and he's going to admit to doing something illegal. Yeah, and get impeached. Man, I would love to get him arrested. Yeah, get arrested. I would love to see him get arrested or impeached. I would love to see them drag his ass in handcuffs to jail. I would love to see that. Trump just said he's going to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, that old prison jail. Right. Set up for 9/11. He's going to send the immigrants there. If they arrest him, that's where I want him to go. Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Yep.
Whether it's an invitation or a subpoena, I'm always going to stand up for the interests of working people, and I will not be intimidated by some weak individual who won't stand up to an individual who believes he's a supreme being right now. You're worried about Chicago? What? Look in your front yard. We have a president right now who is obfuscating his responsibilities that should be very clear based upon the Constitution.
What is he talking about? You're not even following the Constitution. You got illegal people in your state and you don't want to deport them, even the violent criminals. They're adding, I think, hundreds of millions of dollars to their budget, having illegal immigrants in the city because they don't speak the language. They got a place to stay. They need food to eat. Right. And you're saying the president is like negligent of his duties, and the Constitution. You know, it's crazy. Wow. He's a black man. A lot of resources don't get it's not given to a lot to especially in the black communities. A lot of black schools have been turned down. This fool actually opened up old black schools that was closed because they didn't have the budget for them. They reopened them and used them as camps for illegal immigrants.
He is rejecting the Constitution of the United States of America. And if they want to have a real discussion about undocumented individuals who are criminals, they should look at the very individuals who enslaved my people and colonized this land.
Who enslaved your people was the Africans. They sold you into slavery.
I was finna say your own con did that, bro. That's not good.
People look like you sold you to white people. Yeah. But everybody and waved bye to them on the boat. Hey, see you later. Hey, white people slaves. Everybody's a slave. But the only people that's feeling the effects of slavery, for some odd reason, is Negroes. I wonder why that is. I don't know. They asked him about going to provide testimony before Congress, and look where we at. Yeah, we arguing about having to go there, and he's trying to put the blame on someone else.
So whether it's an invitation or a subpoena, the people of Chicago will not be intimidated or threatened by any individual who is unwilling to look in their own front yard of what the real.
Ain't nobody talking about the people of Chicago. Only person that's talking about the people of Chicago is you. They asking you a specific question. Will you go and testify, whether willingly or unwillingly, through a subpoena? That's all he asked you. Could you imagine if our government was primarily black? I would self-deport. Yeah, I would go to Thailand. I'd get some of that yellow fever going.
Yo.
The threat to our democracy lies. Thank you all very much.
Now, an exclusive one-on-one conversation.
It gets worse. Dude is a moron. Here's another interview asking him questions about going to testify in front of Congress.
With Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. He calls President Trump's actions today unprecedented and the House investigation into sanctuary cities disingenuous.
Our Chris Ty started by asking him about the House Oversight Committee's efforts to get Johnson and other sanctuary city mayors to turn over documents and testify before Congress.
The New York mayor's going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you go to D.C.?
Well, I've gone to D.C. multiple times, right?
Wow. Wow, that's what Kamala Harris said. Why don't you go to the border? We've been to the border.
I don't feel like going
Have you been to the border? Have you been to the border recently? Yeah, you went to D.C. when there's Democrats in power. Yeah. Will you go now? No.
Well, because here's the thing. The people of Chicago want to have a far broader conversation in this moment.
But this
Testify before Congress.
Why wouldn't you go to D.C.?
Well, I've gone to D.C. multiple times,
this
right?
occasion.
Well, because here's the thing. The people of Chicago want to have a far broader conversation in this moment.
But this representative wants to have a very specific conversation with you
Well,
and
I
your
find
colleagues.
that to be, disingenuous, quite frankly. When the people of Chicago say that they want affordability, that's why we're building more affordable homes.
What do you make?
He's talking about affordable homes. Yeah, he just distraction, just diverting the attention away from the subject they're trying to talk about. How do you build affordable homes in Chicago? Yeah, what are y'all making out of? It's not even. What are y'all real estate left? What are y'all making homes out of? Cardboard? Yeah, that's the only way you can make cheaper homes in Chicago. Y'all can't even keep Walmart in y'all city. But you're building affordable homes. They ain't building affordable homes. Where you gonna put them at? They have no open real estate there.
Of reports that Representative Comer may compel you and your fellow mayors to come by way of subpoena.
Well, again, the Trump administration has control over the House, the Senate, the judicial branch of government. This is really an incredible derelict of duty in this moment.
Are you leaning towards
He
going?
sounds
I'm not quite sure if this is the forum in which that could take place.
Why wouldn't this be the forum? Yeah. He sounds like you there to advocate for your message, for your city, in front of Congress. Yeah. The legislative body, the most powerful body actually in this country, our government. Why wouldn't that be the forum? This is your time to shine and show how you're doing so great and Chicago is flourishing because of your policies.
But, we're going to review that letter.
Can you come out here to the front door?
For all the bluster around what's going on, the folks here illegally, the people who fit the category of they are here illegally and they are violent offenders, is there some value to the federal government getting them out of the Chicago machine?
Well, that's their responsibility. That's their job.
So there is value there.
Well, look, every administration has done this. That is their responsibility and their job. All we're simply saying is that our local police department will not dub as federal agents. It's not their responsibility. That's the responsibility of the federal government.
So Chicago police, that's not their responsibility to keep people that live in Chicago safe by helping to remove violent criminals that's in the country illegally. That's not their responsibility. That's what he just said. Yeah. What happened to working together? Our systems of government working together to help improve the quality of life for all Americans and to keep our streets safe. You can't work together? What's the one thing cops are hired to do? Arrest people and keep the citizens safe. In the process of doing that, they're going to come into contact with illegal immigrants. Shouldn't they be willing? Shouldn't they be calling ICE? Hey, we just got one. Yeah. Spider caught a couple flies. Come get him. Yeah, he's got them hot and ready. He said it's not their responsibility. It is their responsibility.
Maybe he don't know what.
So that's like saying like something happens in Chicago that's horrible, right? And they need additional federal funding. Yeah. And Trump comes out there, oh, it's not our responsibility. You're the mayor, you take care of it. Yeah. It's the same thing he's doing. It's not my responsibility. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. That's a great point. They want federal dollars, but they don't want to do the things to get those federal dollars. Yeah. They don't want to play ball. The people of Chicago has to be one of the dumbest voters in the country. You know what it might be, Keith? You know that's one of the states where you're not required to show ID when voting. New York, Illinois, California, they're all blue states. They're not required. It's something fishy going on in California. They can't be that stupid. These people can't be this stupid.
Do you believe what the governor?
Look at Texas. Look at Florida. How diverse those states are. Yeah. Why are those states red?
That's crazy.
And California's so blue. Yeah. I think it's a smokescreen. That's a good point.
Is that our local police department will not dub as federal agents. It's not their responsibility. That's the responsibility of the federal government.
Do you believe what the governor said is correct, that the Trump administration is lying to us?
Well, for the President of the United States of America to freeze funding, particularly funding that has been established by law.
But do you agree with when the governor says that the president is lying to us?
Well, is he working outside of his authority? I mean, I think that there's going to be a great deal of litigation around that.
And
this is
yes
unprecedented,
no,
and it's actually incredibly dangerous motto that this president has put forth to believe that he is the supreme existence.
So yes or no, bitch?
You know what? He's
Can
bringing
we
a
get
lot
yes
of
or
federal
no?
funds because they're going to overhaul the system, do away with things that's costing American people. That's, a waste of money. Is that stepping outside of his boundaries, doing that? Of course not. But you will go in front of your people and sensationalize everything to fit your little agenda or narrative. I can't stand that dude. Man, I would love to see that dude in handcuffs. Yeah, I hope they get him on something. Yeah, man, you know if that ever happened? Mm-hmm. Be like, they racist. They because I'm black. And I'm standing up for my kids. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
He said, I'm finna cater to the people. My people, the black people. That is exactly what would happen if that was to be a thing. Damn. I don't watch certain videos, bro. That dude just ignored it. He did not answer none of the questions. I man fished around every question. He was like, all right, I'm gonna fish around it, and yeah, we're not letting them get us. Yo. Next video is titled Woke Protesters Protest as ICE arrests 200 members of Venezuelan gang. I'm not gonna try to say that, bro. In the Colorado. I don't even know how to say that. But yeah, that's crazy. 200 members. Damn. Tired a little bit. Let's watch.
Yeah. Got a show for you. Got a damn good show. Yeah.
Today, former President Donald Trump with a rally in Aurora, Colorado. It's a city he falsely claims has been overrun by a Venezuelan gang by taking over apartment complexes. ABC's Perry Russum is in Washington with the details.
Ahead of former President Trump's rally in Aurora, Colorado, a city he falsely claims has been overrun by a Venezuelan gang.
You look at Aurora in Colorado, they are taking over the towns. They're taking over buildings. They're going in violently.
The city's mayor, a Republican, says concerns about gang activity have been grossly exaggerated. This community organizer says the misinformation has led to Venezuelan migrants fearing for their safety.
You have folks in cars that have driven past with guns threatening to kill all of the Venezuelans.
The Venezuelan gangs are the worst in the world. They're vicious, violent people. And you see what they've done in Colorado and other places. They're taking over, literally taking over apartment complexes and doing it with impunity. They don't care. They couldn't. They just are. They're in the real estate business.
You know, the local police say that is not the case in Colorado.
Oh, it's totally the case. I mean,
Y'all remember these lies, right? Yep.
You don't believe the local police?
I play it. I used to play it at my rallies every single night. No, they're breaking into doors. They're taking over the building.
This is the White House revealing nearly 200 illegal immigrants, gang members have been arrested since Trump returned to office. And it comes after federal officials round up over 100 violent Venezuelan gang members in Colorado who have terrorized apartment buildings in the city.
But it wasn't happening. It was fake news.
Massive crackdown taking aim at more than 100 members of the violent gang Tren de Aragua. The raids focusing on apartment buildings where TDA was in control, terrorizing residents.
This was an enormous operation. We are talking hundreds of federal agents across multiple federal agencies. Their goal, as you guys stated, was to target about 100 Tren de Aragua gang members here in the Aurora area. Unfortunately, that goal was derailed, possibly due to leaks to the media that this operation was coming. We were given exclusive access to tag along and witness all of it.
At a second Tren de Aragua link complex, ICE was met by activists who taunted them.
Oh, we got Karen.
That's a white lady. Yeah. You know she voted for Democrats. And we need to make white people great again. Look at that nut. Get out of our community.
And others who used megaphones to coach those living inside. DEA agents used flashbangs inside while serving a warrant. That led to a handful of arrests, but no TDA gang members. A stop at another apartment complex netted no arrests.
It seems like they were tipped off. They knew this was coming.
So yeah, I do get the impression that there were some intel leaks here, and I think that probably they did know we were coming, but we're still coming. And just because something leaks now and then doesn't, it's not going to stop us.
I don't give a shit.
Also, man, they is not playing. No, they not.
No, they ain't.
On their radar, this previously deported Honduran illegal alien with pending local charges for strangulation, kidnapping.
Strangulation?
Mm-hmm. Local charges for strangulation, kidnapping, and possession of fentanyl.
Get the out of my neighborhood! That is crazy. They arrested somebody for a strangulation warrant. They've been deported before, and watch what, and he's got fentanyl in his apartment, and they tell him to get out. They want that crazy person in the neighborhood. Look what they finna find in his apartment.
While activists yelled outside, agents recovered this stolen rifle from inside the man's home.
Bro got a big ass fucking sniper rifle.
And they're screaming for them to get out of their neighborhood.
Yo.
What kind of rifle is that? Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
That's a long ass barrel
That
for
is
that
crazy.
sniper rifle.
And you got people actually protesting them, taking out violent, vicious criminals. I just found somebody worse than Black Lives Matter. These fools. Yeah. Well, look, they filming like they scaring somebody. Yeah. Their allegiance is to their people in Mexico. Look, they all filming. Yeah. Like that's going to stop them from taking these people. They arrested 194 people, gang members. You know, some of them tipped off. Yeah, that happened today. Yeah, that happened today. Yeah, but it got off to a slow start. Mm-hmm. But I can't believe the audacity of these people. Yeah. These people, they may be American citizens, but their allegiance is to Mexico. To their people. Yeah, they can't just go up to them and ask for the ID, huh? They're going after targeted people. Now, the people they come into contact that's living with these people, they can question them because they're harboring fugitives.
Accessory.
That's crazy, man. They're actually protesting them, taking out because they have no allegiance to America.
While activists yelled outside, agents recovered this stolen rifle from inside the man's home.
And we wanted women to vote. Seen a crazy white lady screaming, "Get out of our neighborhoods!" And then we got some good women, but women put men in women's restrooms. They put them in our sports. They put all this crazy, majority of crazy stuff because of the way women vote. In general. It's like, they just started. They just got started. They just got started, man. Trump's only been in office, what, 2 weeks? I think that number's up to like 8,900 people. And guess what? They're taking these people to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Perfect place. Yeah. Things is looking up, man. Trump's back in office. He had a blunder earlier today about Israel, but I mean, nobody's perfect.
Yo. Trump said, I'm trying, nigga. I'm trying. Putting these people back in their places, bro. They'll yell for him to get out, but if it was one of their family members that got strangulation or something, then they want him. Then they'll change that whole tune, bro. I swear, people just support any fucking thing that's aligned with their people, so to speak. Yeah, what? Next video is titled Liberals Rip Apart. Liberals rips apart. Sorry, that's a little weird. Liberals rips apart. Rachel Maddow's lies on Trump administration. Elon Musk $400 million Tesla deal. Okay.
Yeah, got any show for y'all. Damn. So Rachel Maddow yesterday did a segment on MSNBC. It was a smear campaign. Yeah, right? Yep. She went after. She's going after Elon Musk and the Trump administration about about a contract for electric armored vehicles. Right. And the way she spent her news segment, it's like making it seem like Elon Musk is trying to get his money back. For helping get Trump elected, right? Right. That's how she's funded. She was like, hey, I'm your biggest donor. I'm trying to get my money back. I'm going to get this $400 million contract for Tesla. Yeah, right here. Yeah. Okay, so here's the segment by this fraud of a journalist. Yeah.
Well, now, as the top campaign donor to U.S. President Donald Trump, Elon Musk has apparently somehow convinced the United States government, specifically the United States Department of State, that the taxpayers of the United States of America should spend $400 million buying, quote, armored Tesla production units.
MSNBC's Rachel Maddow covered that alarming story on her show last night, but she's leaving out some pretty crucial details about that massive Tesla contract. And we'll tell you what the details are after you watch the rest of what she had to say.
TYT is going to rip her apart.
Since I think the only supposedly armored production vehicles Tesla makes are these hilarious trucks, this really appears to be the State Department announcing, putting in writing that it's going to spend $400 million buying these paperweights.
This is our media, everybody.
From Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's the mainstream media. Yeah. This is our media. She should be able to get sued for defamation for this.
This is a line item in the latest procurement forecast for the U.S. Department of State.
So this is where the story actually takes some twists and turns. And I would venture to say that the producers over at the Rachel Maddow show on MSNBC were fully aware of the dates involved on this procurement documentation. So bear with us as we go through the details. Ryan Grimm of Dropsite News first reported on this contract yesterday, but what Grimm reported is a little bit different from what Rachel Maddow reported. Totally different. Let me give you the relevant portion of Ryan Grimm's reporting here, where he says that the State Department's procurement forecast, revised as of late December 2024, lists Tesla as the recipient of the largest expected contract, with Marco Rubio's department planning to buy $400 million worth of armored Tesla. The procurement forecast is listed as having been modified on December 13th, 2024, a month after Donald Trump's election. It was a month after Donald Trump's election, but it was obviously before he had been inaugurated, before he was officially in office. In other words, the State Department would have issued that contract under Biden's administration. So exactly. I'm sure.
But whose initiative is to be zero emissions? It's Democrats. Yeah. So it would make sense why Biden's administration would want to give Tesla $400 million for armored vehicles. Right.
Sure, Rachel Maddow is going to correct that on a subsequent broadcast. I can't wait to see it. But after Grimm's initial report, the Trump administration did something interesting. So Grimm reported this morning, let's take a look at this. After DropSite News revealed Tesla was forecast to be given $400 million contract for armored Tesla, the State Department altered its spreadsheet to obscure Tesla's role. Metadata shows the spreadsheet was revised several hours after our story published. And the twists and turns don't stop there. So after that post, the State Department reached out to DropSite News directly, which sounds kind of scary, but it's not, because they wanted to say that the Tesla contract is actually now on hold. DropSite News then updated their reporting accordingly, and they also reported that the new information about how the contract came to be, they say that the acquisition plan was set in motion by the Biden administration last year as part of a move to convert the Bureau of Diplomatic Security's fleet of roughly 3,000 armored vehicles into zero-emission electric vehicles by 2023. And in April of last year, the Bureau of Diplomatic Security issued a request for information to see which electric vehicle manufacturers would be interested in taking on that request. Now, according to the Trump State Department, only one company showed any interest in this contract, and that one company happened to be Tesla. The State Department stated that the next step in the process would involve an official solicitation being sent out to vehicle manufacturers to bid, adding that, however, the solicitation is on hold and there are no current plans to issue it. So, Cenk, what do you make of this story? All of it, because there's some suspicion that the Trump administration is going to give Tesla that contract anyway, but they don't want it to appear as though Elon Musk's conflict of interests are playing a role in the decisions that are being made in the Trump White House. I'm curious what you think.
Yeah, of course, as usual, I have fairly strong feelings about it. But first, God, I love our poll on this one. So this one's in the live chat, shows live 6 o'clock Eastern every day. Who's the biggest villain here? Elon Musk, Rachel Maddow, Donald Trump, Joe Biden? It's a really good question because Joe Biden's the one that made the deal for the Teslas.
Yep. Well, your fan base, well, not your fan base, but your fan base, they're progressive. They're idiots. Why is Elon Musk the villain? When Joe Biden, it was Joe Biden's administration, it's Democrats' initiative to go zero emissions. Of course.
They saw Tesla
going to capitalize on that.
They said Tesla, Elon Musk.
But Elon Musk is the villain. It makes
sense.
$400 million contract. 3,000 vehicles, $133,000 per vehicle. Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds right.
Can we blame Trump? That's the most irrational thing in the world. I mean, we just call him a racist for no reason. I don't know, but Biden's administration is the one that did this contract. Anna, I'm not missing it, right? There's no dispute over that.
You are not missing it. Based on the documents, this deal was made under the Biden administration, and based on the updates to this story, which was reported by Ryan Grimm on DropSite News, a source that we trust, the Trump administration has put this whole, this whole thing on hold entirely, the notion of buying the EV armored vehicles.
I mean, if he cancels the Musk order,
he's going to look good.
The Tesla order, then you actually have to give Trump a lot of credit. Like Biden wanted to give $400 million to Tesla and Trump is saying no. I don't think he'll cancel it. I think this is an easy layup for him because he'll get to say, well, I didn't give it to him, Biden gave it to him. Because Biden did give it to him. So, look.
But that would make Doge, that would make Elon Musk, that would make Trump look like they are beyond approach. They canceled a contract that would benefit Elon Musk. Yeah. That would make them look good. Yeah, but they always go with electric vehicles. I mean, not electric, armored vehicles for the new administration. I think they like to buy a new fleet every administration. Right. Usually Tahoe or Cadillacs. Yeah. What do you think happened? You think Rachel Maddow was just sitting at her desk and this came across and was like, yes, we got him. Yep. Because that whole narrative been like, look, Elon Musk is trying to enrich himself. Trump's going to enrich him for helping him get him elected. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. I think once this came across her desk, he said, man, we finally got him. We can prove that it's an oligarchy. They're trying to take over the country. They're stealing from the American public. That's why she jumped to the story and she didn't do her due diligence.
She let her biases dictate on her reporting, which is going to bite her in the butt.
Well, they all practically.
Yeah.
Man, look, I'd be surprised if they didn't go forward with this. And then, again, the source matters here. And Ryan Grimm is one of the most trusted reporters in the country, cares deeply about the facts, et cetera. So if it turns out that it's also true that there was no other bidders, I hate no bid contracts, but if there's no other bidders, what are you gonna do?
There's nothing you can
right?
say.
So look, I'm curious what Rachel's gonna do about this, because look, I've criticized her from time to time for just doing Democratic talking points. I remember back in the day when we worked out Air America together, she was a real, progressive and honest actor, et cetera. In my experience at MSNBC, she's criticized Democrats a total in a couple of decades, a grand total of I think 0 times, but maybe she did it 2 or 3 times just to be cute. Like, oh, what? Back in 1987, I once said something about Democrats. So, but this is a bridge to it. She's got to correct this. I'd be super surprised if she didn't correct it, and it would be.
Oh, she's got to correct that. Yeah, she has to. She
Yeah,
has
no
no
choice.
She has no other choice. You're gonna get sued. But he's gonna get his contract. He got Trump elected. Trump's got to give it to him.
Yeah, he's got to get his money back.
Get his investments back. Okay. All right. What's up, y'all? Back again. Back some more. Back with the continuing. All right. This video is titled "Reporter Hits Trump in the Face with Mic. President's Reaction is Priceless." What the hell? Maybe just doing the most, I see. All right, let's see this reaction.
Yeah, I got a new show for y'all. Got a damn good show. All right, so Trump, whenever he sees the microphone, of course he's gonna come running over, right? He's not like Biden. He loves to be on TV. It's not like Biden avoid the cameras. Yeah. Because Biden actually realized that he was like losing his faculties, and he knew he was losing it.
Yeah, scared he's gonna make a mistake.
Right. So he goes up to the reporters, and they're gonna ask. I think they're asking questions about Gaza, and then this happens.
Impressed by that. Mr. President, walk us through the tariff.
Mr. President, obviously you're concerned. You're concerned about the situation in Gaza. What are the hopes now to get somebody done?
She just became a big story tonight, right? Yes, sir. Did you see that? Impressed by that.
You think that was on purpose?
Mr. President,
See,
obviously you're concerned.
That's gotta be a mistake, Pete.
No,
it was right there.
She had it right.
Yeah, got you. You think that was a mistake?
That wasn't a mistake.
No one's going to intentionally assault the president on camera. That was a mistake.
Oh, nigga.
Even he thinks it's a mistake and she's a moron. No, he's probably thinking she did that on purpose.
She did do that shit on purpose, bro.
Well, let's look at
it.
He had it right the whole
What are the hopes
other
now
part of
to
this
get the
conversation.
She just became a big story tonight, right? Yes, sir. Did you see that? Impressed by that.
See what?
Mr. President, walk us through the tariff.
Mr. President, obviously you're concerned.
Keep filling them. Well, he took it in strides. Yeah. I'm. People gonna make. He took a bullet in stride too. Didn't phase him. Yeah. I think it's probably a mistake. Yeah. Chief, I know. It's not like it was like it's. Right. Nobody. I mean, I know Democrats are stupid, but they can't be that stupid to intentionally assault a president on camera in front of everybody. Yeah. It's got to be a mistake. I mean, he didn't see it coming too. Look at the mic.
See? She hit the phone and then she hit him.
I'm trying to figure out the reporter's name. I can't find it anywhere. I can't find it. Whoever it is going to lose the, you think they're passing into the White House? Or they're never going to ask a question to Trump? They're not going to have the, well, I think this is like at the airport. What airport? You don't see the planes
There's
and
a lot
everything in
of
the background.
planes.
This is like an airport. You think this is at the White
I
House?
see a hangar. Yeah.
You think this is at the White House? I ain't say it was at the White House. You said she gonna lose her pets at the White House. This is just a bunch of reporters. This is like the president. Let's see if we can get an interview, and they all stand right there.
She has. She had whoever the reporter is has a privilege to be able to even approach the president. I think those are going to be revoked.
You think so?
Yeah. She just smacked him in the face with a microphone. Wasn't that hard, man? No, man. That you can't let that level of ignorance around you.
Well, why do you have those female Secret Service agents around him then? When he got shot at?
Yeah, her press pass is going to get revoked.
Mr. President, obviously you're concerned.
I like
his reaction.
He's looking right at us. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's a look my boy Logan be giving certain people.
Somebody, remember that black girl? She was getting arrested by the cops. You're going to lose your job. You remember that old video? You're going to lose your job at Black Woman was rapping that, singing that while she's getting arrested.
Why are you detaining me? You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job because you are detaining me for nothing. And you're detaining me for nothing. And you about to lose your job. You ain't even got no job because you training. You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. You about to lose your
You see him
job.
see broke character.
Man, shut up. Hey, go in the comments see if you can find out who it was. Let's see here. All jokes aside, these reporters should not be allowed 10 feet to him.
Yeah.
Love how Trump keeps his composure. That should be lost his composure. You fuck. Trump be like, what are you stupid? I knocked you up, you stranded the president of the United States. Let's see. Incredibly disrespectful. Looks almost like they did on purpose.
It's got to be a mistake.
If it was on purpose, they'd actually swung at him. No, but they're trying to be slick about it. I want him in the face. So you know what I do? I'm just going to stick it in his face.
Nah.
It kills an accident. Look, bombastic side eye. Yeah. Trump looked at her like an angry black woman. That's a resting bitch face right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just a mistake.
Yeah, it had to be. Yeah. DEI. Look, that's a DEI. Maybe that's why you look at her. It's a black woman. And it's a DEI. I didn't see her hand. You saw her hand? No, I didn't see it.
Oh, you joking?
I was just adding it. I was embellished.
Let me see. Let me see it again.
You want to see it again?
Yeah.
This dude, everything happens to him, he still look cool.
Mr. President, obviously you're concerned. You're concerned about the situation in Gaza.
That was funny, bro. What the fuck? He ain't got no choice. He got to keep his composure. Can't swing on nobody. Plus, that wasn't like super hard. Like that would have sparked some shit if it was harder than that. But no. Still don't think it's an accident though. Fuck that. I don't agree with them. That motherfucker was on purpose. She had to hit the phone of homegirls that got to ask the question first, and then she hit him with the mic. Cause if you swing over here, you like, oh shit, I'm sorry, and then bam, I'm like, bro, nah, you making it way too. That's two mistakes you done made. All right, let's get to the next video. Next video is titled "Bill Maher left speechless after getting educated on Trump's tariffs. All right, I don't know if I ever say his name right, and then I hear it, and then it's like, oh, maybe not. Anyways, let's watch this man again in these multi videos.
Yeah, got a new show for y'all. Got a damn good show.
This woman gives Bill Maher a lesson.
Yeah, an education on tariffs. Left them speechless. Yeah.
Wondering what you think now. We're approaching 2 months in. I mean, you must have a feeling in your gut. Look me in the eye and tell me you don't. That this is really going badly, and I shouldn't have thrown my lot in with this team.
Oh, no, I feel the opposite.
All right. Tell me why.
I'm so sorry, Bill.
No, tell me why.
No, I feel so proud of, I mean, I was never a Republican or a conservative. I was a leftist, and I am still a leftist. I'm just a MAGA leftist now because...
That makes no sense.
That don't make no sense.
Would you like me to explain?
Please do, yes, please.
When I look at what President Trump ran on and the agenda that he's enacting right now, he took a Republican Party that was built on social conservatism, foreign interventions and wars, and free trade and free markets. And he basically took an axe to all of those. During the campaign, he said, look, I mean, he's pretty pro-gay. That's pretty obvious. He appointed the highest-ranking out gay person, Scott Bessent, our Secretary of Treasury, which is incredible. And he sidelined the pro-life wing of his party.
He has changed the party, for sure.
Okay, so he believes abortion should be legal for 12 weeks.
But free trade, you mentioned.
On foreign intervention, he's anti-war. He's trying to bring to an end to all of these wars, okay?
By surrendering, but yes.
Okay.
That don't make no sense by surrendering. It's not our war. He's looking for a way to find peace to stop the war. We have nothing, to stop the killing.
Well, we got the game.
We surrendered. Yeah. It's to stop the killing of Ukrainians. Yeah, and Russians. Yeah, Ukraine is going to defeat Russia. Okay, whatever. We're surrendering. That didn't make any sense.
He's on the other side of another party that is quite pro-war and wants to keep the war going, right?
But let me just get
to the third point. And the third point is, and he's not free trade. He does not believe in free trade. He looked at our destroyed manufacturing base. He looked at the downwardly mobile working class. He looked at the fact that working class Americans can no longer afford the American dream. And he looked at why that was, which was there was a handshake agreement between both parties that we should somehow have free trade, which resulted in shipping 5 million good manufacturing jobs overseas to build up China and Mexico.
And some came here.
No, what they did was they brought in millions and millions of illegal migrants to compete with the jobs that remained here. And what Donald Trump said was, we have to stop selling out the working class. That agenda that he laid out, socially moderate, anti-war, and anti-free trade protectionist, that is a leftist agenda.
Sam, I will bring you in, I swear to God.
Well, here we go, watch this.
The reason people want to go back to the 70s is in the 70s, the largest share of our GDP was in the middle class. And that was not separate from the fact that 25% of our economy was in manufacturing.
Right, the largest share of our GDP
was in the middle class, the biggest chunk, the middle class, people who were middle income.
Most of what was produced came from the middle, and now it comes from what? The rich.
Now, the top 20% controls over 50% of the GDP. Our economy was an upward funnel of wealth, and the largest share, which used to be in manufacturing, which gave a lot of working class people a middle class standard of living, now the largest share is in real estate and finance, meaning that asset-rich Americans are controlling over 50% of the GDP, and they have left the working class out of all of that prosperity that was generated. That manufacturing is still being done. It's just being done in other countries. It is still
for wages we will not work for.
That's exactly right. You're right, Bill. That's what the tariffs are for. They are to make American workers more competitive in the global market. Why are we accepting that there should be a race to the bottom? You know, China, what is its competitive advantage over us? It's that it pays slave wages. Why should we accept that? They're still manufacturing our PPE, our pharmaceuticals, our cars. They're making all that stuff. Trump says there are 5 industries that we cannot have any kind of national security without having a stake in them. Pharmaceuticals, lumber, steel, aluminum, and I forget what the 5th one was. But these are really important that we have a stake in the manufacturing of the things that we need as a nation so that when China decides that it wants to go to war against us, we're not relying on them for steel and aluminum in order to fight them.
Okay, well, at least that's an answer.
What you talking about? Now. At least that's an answer. That's a great response. Yeah, I think his main objective is to bring the jobs back. Yeah. Like I said, they're moving the jobs to Canada and Mexico and creating jobs for them, for their citizens. And then they're shipping the products back. It's funny that they keep saying we're their biggest allies. No, you're stealing all our jobs. Yeah. But no ally steals. If you're a true ally, why are you stealing all our jobs? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and these companies are traitors. Yeah. I've said it many times, Trump is not a conservative. He's liberal. He's liberal. Yeah, he's a Democrat. He's a pro-life liberal that believes give him 12 weeks. Yeah. He's anti-war. It's crazy how Republicans used to be for war. Yeah. Those things she's talking about, free trade that, really would infringe on the middle class here in America. Now look how far the Republicans have came. Now we're anti-war, and now we're trying to enrich our middle class once again. Yeah, the middle class. But now the Democrats want to go to war. Like Bill Maher said, "Oh, you surrendered." Ukraine was never going to win that war. You know, over 1 million people died in Ukraine. Yeah, 1 million of their soldiers for nothing, for absolutely nothing. It's not like they're going to win. Yeah. And back to that lady's point, there's no middle class in America anymore. Yeah, no. All those jobs left. Yeah. They're gone. Our town, Martinsville, Virginia, was decimated by that free trade thing we passed between the Republicans and Democrats. Yeah. All those jobs left. Yeah. Everything left. Martinsville, Virginia was ran by textile mills, like cotton. Yeah. It was called Tortex, DuPont, Fieldcrest. Yeah. All those jobs went to Mexico. Yeah. All of them. Yeah. And now that city where we grew up, it was already poor. Now it's just a shithole. There's nothing there. But Mexico is our great ally to the United States. No, it's not. They're making us poor. Canada's making us poor. We don't need these countries. We can do everything here, right in America. Yeah, be more self-reliant there, Bill. Yeah. Be a true liberal.
Man, this is like the second time Trump gotta bring in jobs again. This time it's harder though. The first time he was in a presidency, it was easier to bring in them jobs. It didn't take that long. This time it's gonna take a bit longer because of the way that they set this shit up. That shit crazy, man. Yeah, the terrorists are for us, but these motherfuckers, nobody is understanding that that's for us. That's kind of crazy, to be honest. Woo. It's crazy. Good for her, by the way. She went on there and told them about everything. Although home dude didn't take it, Bill has to be a certain way, so he has to. He ain't got no fucking choice. I guess he has to stay on the far left. I'm guessing that's what's happening right now. Because I was listening to her. I would have been listening to her. Hey, yeah, you right about that. Can't deny you on that. Can't deny you on that. You know what he did? He denied her on that. Some sad times we living in, bro. Nobody wants to listen. Everybody wants to be right. Except for, the people that actually want a conversation and listen. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this compilation. I think we did like 7 videos. Yeah. Fun. Conservative Twins. It's been a while. It's a lot of politics on Conservative Twins. So if you can't handle politics, bro, you ain't watching this video. I'll tell you that much. All right. We out. Thanks for watching. Peace.